fan Joe Pal, Big D back here again with another week news announcement. And this is for November 30th and December 7th. Wow. 2021, can you believe the end of the year is almost here? I feel like it just started yesterday. It's been an interesting year, probably one of the most interesting years I've ever had, considering 2020 was a really interesting year too. So those of you new to my channel, I like to do this every week where I talk about what's new coming out on Blu-ray, DVD, and 4K for the current week and for the following week, and anything new that's possibly was announced over the last couple weeks. So let's get started. At the end of the video, I do have a very special unboxing. I think I know what it is. It's an early Christmas gift from my wife. She wanted me to have it now, but she also wanted me to film it. I'm pretty sure I know what it is, but I'm excited to open it up and to see if what I think it is true. So, all right, let's go ahead. So today, the 30th of November, the last day of November this year, we do have a few titles coming out, not a whole lot. The biggest one, obviously, being Shang-Chi, which comes out today. That's Blu-ray, DVD, and 4K. Best Buy does have a special edition 4K Steelbook, and Walmart does have a special edition, like their 4K set that has, like, I guess, a couple different cards you can switch in. I think my Space Jam was that way. My new Space Jam's that way. You can, a couple different particular cards or some sort of like art cards you can switch out the front of the case with to have a different look in the front of it. So that does come out today. We also have Heaven Can Wait coming out on Blu-ray. I think that's the first time that movie came out. That's an early 80s movie. I remember seeing it was run on HBO a lot when HBO first came out. I'm going to date myself here. Back in the early 80s, we're talking 80, 81 when HBO finally started coming around. That was a big one they ran all the time. I Dream of Jeannie, the complete series, is coming out today. And then the last two to round it out are Red's 40th Anniversary Edition on Blu-ray today, and Malignant is coming out on Blu-ray DVD today. I don't think there's a 4K on that one. I did see Malignant. A lot of people were really like, "Oh my god, it was so epic." So I kind of called it, like, halfway through the movie, what was going on. I thought it was an okay horror flick, but I don't feel like it was like this. And maybe I'm wrong, but my whole family, we all sat down and watched it, and all of us kind of felt the same way. It wasn't as like I recently watched Squid Game, and I ended up really liking that. A lot of what my family had said, and the people had seen it before me, friends had said, you're going to like it, Don. You're really going to like it. And I did. My wife and I sat down and watched it. We watched 5 episodes one night, and then the other 4 the night after that. We really did enjoy it. This is another movie where it's like, oh, you're going to love it. You're going to love it. I just didn't get it. I don't think it was a big mystery what it was all about. The ending was supposed to be like, I remember people commenting online like, the last 30 minutes are so just like crazy, and I didn't find that at all. I kind of sat there and went, it's a typical horror movie. I wasn't really overly well. So the question I have for you is there anybody else that felt that way, or did I just miss the point? Maybe I should watch it again. I thought it was an okay movie. I just didn't think it was like this big epic movie that, like, a lot of people are saying, it was so crazy. It was just so epic and so, like, such a different take on horror movies. And I remember reading comment after comment how great this movie was, so I went into it, and yes, I did have a kind of high expectation, but at the same time, there's been a lot of times I've had really high expectations. And for example, Shang-Chi, I had a high expectation going in, not really, really high, but I was like, okay, Marvel's put out a lot of really quality movies. They put a lot of stuff that I really enjoyed, so I'm expecting this to be the same thing. And I went into it, and it not only met my expectations, it went above my expectations, so much so that it's really now one of my favorite Marvel movies. I really, really liked it. Malignant, I don't know. There was just something about it. So, okay, that's it for this week. Now, next week's got a few more titles coming out, fortunately. We do have Who Framed Roger Rabbit coming out in 4K for the first time. I remember seeing that in theaters, too. There's also a special edition Steelbook for that. Shout Factory is releasing Krampus in 4K. This is the Krampus that came out with Adam Scott a couple years ago. Side note story, so this is about 5 years. This is right after Krampus came out. I think it only been out a month or two. And I was working at a movie theater back then. This was quite a while ago. And Adam Scott, who's one of the main stars of that movie, has family that lives here in town. Matter of fact, my wife knows his cousin really well. They used to work together in answering service years ago. And so I was in there taking tickets and doing stuff like that, pointing people to go. And who walks in but Adam Scott, and what I think was his niece or something like that. And they were going to see The Good Dinosaur, was out back then. And it was just really cool to meet him. I just watched Krampus. I'd followed him a bunch of stuff. He was actually in Star Trek, if you remember, in the beginning of Star Trek First Contact, aboard the USS Defiant. Worf's like, what do we got left? He's all, the bridge is gone. Our shields are damaged. We got nothing left. That was Adam Scott at the helm of the Defiant. So that was really cool to actually meet him. Got to shake his hand, talk to him for a brief second. He was a really nice, really great, cool guy. So that's just kind of a side story. Like, that was really neat. The one, I mean, I worked in the theater only for about 4 months. It was not what I expected. I was hoping for a lot more, and it wasn't what I expected. But that was a really shiny moment. That it was really cool to meet him. All right, so after that, we do have Beavis and Butthead to America coming out for the first time on Blu-ray, which I'm going to get. I'm a big Beavis and Butthead fan. I've been a big fan of theirs since they originally premiered on MTV just eons ago. I remember I was working at a mom and pop video store back then, way back in the day. I remember trying to talk the owner into getting, if he could find anything on Beavis and Butthead to bring in on VHS, because it was VHS back then, to bring it in, because I wanted more Beavis and Butthead. I call them the boys. I love the guys. We just watched Beavis and Butthead do Christmas the other night. My wife's a fan of them too. So it's cool to finally see this movie coming out on Blu-ray for the first time. I have the DVD, and I actually have the laser disc of Beavis and Butthead to America. So it'd be cool to kind of finally get rid of that DVD and get a Blu-ray on it. Hope there's a digital copy. It'd be kind of cool. We also have Hard Target coming out in 4K for the first time, the Von Damme classic. We have here, let's see here, Rick and Morty Season 5 coming out next week. We have Paramount Presents is releasing Harold Maude as part of their collection that they do. Let's see, Cry Macho's coming out on Blu-ray, DVD, and 4K next week. That's the Clint Eastwood movie. Didn't hear a thing about it. I know it premiered on HBO Max, I think it was. I didn't really hear anything about it. I mean, apparently this is his last movie, but I don't think it was received really well. If anybody's seen it, leave me a comment down below. I'm kind of curious. We do have Creepshow Season 2 coming out next week. Criterion is releasing One Night in Miami, which my wife saw that, said it was really good. Mill Creek is releasing a Street Fighter Steelbook next week. Now, mind you, this is the Street Fighter with Jean-Claude Van Damme. This is kind of a Van Damme week next week. So that ought to be interesting. We do have Werewolf Within, which is apparently a movie based upon a video game or a board game. I'm not really sure. I think back. It is a video game. I think it's one of those Telltale or Tale things like they do for The Walking Dead, I think. And then also we have next week coming on Blu-ray and 4K and DVD is Ron's Gone Wrong. It's an animated movie. And I think, let me look it over. Oh, and the last thing that comes out next week is the Karate Kid Collection coming out in 4K for the first time. Now, my understanding is this is the Karate Kid 1, 2, and 3. I think that's it. I was trying to figure out what's in it because I couldn't tell whether the next Karate Kid was in there with Hilary Swank or not. I know it's the 3 Karate Kids with Ralph Macchio. Will be out in 4K for the first time next week. I kind of like to get a set, like, I'm kind of hoping for with that one is they release an entire, like, Karate Kid collection, like, once Cobra Kai is over, once it's run its course on Netflix. I'm kind of hoping for, like, a whole big thing of, like, all the Karate Kid movies. You know what, throw in the Jaden Smith train wreck, too, just for the heck of it. Just because it'd be nice to have the whole thing together. Now, I do have the first couple seasons of Cobra Kai, which if you've never seen Cobra Kai, that's a fun show. I love that show. I think the new season starts up at the end of December. Looking forward to that. I think it's going to be really fun. Also looking forward to Boba Fett. Book of Boba Fett because at the end of next month too. But, there's some good stuff coming out next week. I'm really excited about some of these things. I definitely want to get Beavis and Butthead, I said. I'll get Rick and Morty because I have the other seasons of Rick and Morty, I'm sure. I'm kind of interested in that Street Fighter Steelbook. It's a Steelbook is why. So we'll see, but that's it for that. Let's talk about some announcements. Announcement-wise, Shout Factory has announced a bunch of stuff. So they announced the movie Alligator in 4K, which will be out on the 22nd of February. There's also The Howling 4 coming out in 4K for the first time, and they're releasing that on the 8th of February. We have Alligator 2 coming out on the 22nd, also the same day as the Alligator 1, the 22nd of February. We have Slumber Party Massacre coming out on the 1st of February. And then finally, and this one was fun as cracking because my wife and I just watched it the other night. Summer School with Mark Harmon is actually, Shout Select is actually going to be releasing that on the 8th of February. Kind of funny. I just watched it. It's one of those movies I remember. I've always enjoyed it. I've always really, really enjoyed the movie since I originally seen it years ago. I saw it in theaters too. So I'm really excited for that one to come out. And let's see what else we have here. Kino Lorber is releasing 12 Angry Men on the 8th of February. Phenomena, the Dario Argento movie, has been released in 4K. I think it's for the first time. And that'll be on the 8th of March. And lastly, we do have Dune, the recent version of Dune that was just in theaters, which I saw and I really liked. That will be out on Blu-ray, DVD, 4K, and there's a special edition steelbook for that one. And that'll be out the 11th of February. I mean, January. Sorry, January. So that is it. That's it for Blu-ray, DVD, 4K for this week. Next week, anything majorly announced. Not much other stuff that's going on. I can tell you this. I did pick up a couple things on Cyber Monday. Not very much, though. I wasn't really impressed with it. It was basically the same sales, like I say every year, the same sales that were during Black Friday. So, but I did manage to pick up a couple things. They should be here in about a week or something like that, and I'll do an unboxing then of those. I do have a video done for the rest of my Black Friday haul. It is done. I'll be posting it later this week with everything that I picked up for Black Friday from Walmart, Target, and Best Buy. I can tell you this right now. Best Buy was my biggest haul. Walmart was my smallest, and I explained why in that video. And other than that, that is it for this video, except for one thing. I want to do a special unboxing. So I got this in the mail the other day, and it's an early Christmas present for my wife. She wanted me to have it now because she wanted me to display it during the holiday season. I'm pretty sure I know what it is. It's something that if I'm correct, it's something that I've wanted since I saw this movie originally back in the 90s. Yeah, so let's go ahead and open it, and let's see what we got. So I'm just going to go ahead and do it. I'm pretty sure I know what it is because she kind of hinted to it, and I was like, but, I figured I'd do an unboxing on here just to see what we got. So, all right, let's see what we got here. Got it from Walmart, too, so, I'm pretty sure I know what it is. But I was right. I was right. Oh, my God. It's great. It's fantastic. A Turbo Man. I just want a Turbo Man. Es de hombre de turbo. I knew what it was. I had a sneaking suspicion just because of what she had said, and she's like, it's something you've really wanted for a really long time, for a really, really long time, that she and I both looked for over the years on eBay and stuff like that, try to get Turbo Man. I saw this movie with my little brother in theaters way back in the 90s when it first came out, and I wanted this darn figure ever since then because I thought it'd be really cool, and I could never find it. They put them out limitedly originally, and there's only a few of them out there, and they used to go for like $150, $200. I just couldn't pull a trigger on something that expensive, and I always just wrote it off as like, well, I'll never get it. And then was it back in, I want to say, towards the beginning of the summer, around May, June, they started popping up at Walmarts, and a bunch of the YouTubers that I watch, specifically Durant Cinema, who's a massive Schwarzenegger fan, he had got one, and I was just like, I really want really bad. But the 3 Walmarts that I have within somewhat driving distance of where I live, no more than about an hour and a half away, the 3 major Walmarts I have, none of them had it. I walked in every time, they never even had the stickers on the shelves saying what it was. They never got these things in. I don't know whether it was a regional thing or was just certain stores got it that were bigger volume stores or whatever, because I remember working in retail as much as I have over the days, a lot of times my store wouldn't get certain things because my volume wasn't as big as some of the other stores that sold a lot more. So I just could never find it. I finally gave up, and apparently they popped up on Walmart a few days ago, and she went ahead and just got it for me. She didn't ask, she didn't do anything. She knew how much I wanted this thing. So it's Turbo Man. It's great. It's fantastic. So thank you to my wife. This is an awesome Christmas present. I understand why she wanted me to have it early so I can display it. Will I pull out of the box? I'm not sure if I'm going to pull this out of the box or not. It's kind of like when you see it in the movie. The majority of the time you see it in a box. So I don't know. I may eventually do it, but for right now I'll probably just display it. But I mean, this is it's Turbo Man. I mean, it's just awesome. So that was a little early Christmas present that I'm really stoked to get. And she was like, you should just open the box on your channel while you're filming one of your videos, because I think you'll get a kick. And I did. I really thank you, sweetheart. I really appreciate this. This is something I've truly wanted for a really, really long time. And to be honest with you, it was one of those things I'd written off because I never felt I would ever get one. There's certain things throughout my life, things that I really wanted to get that I wasn't able to get, certain things that there was a Stormtrooper back in the day when I was a kid. It was in the, not Macy's catalog, I think it was the JCPenney's catalog, and I really wanted this Stormtrooper really bad. It was a 12-inch figure, And it was expensive at the time when I was a kid, and nobody ever got it for me. I never got it, and it always bummed me out because I always wanted this stupid Stormtrooper. And this is very similar to this, where it's something I really wanted to get, not as a kid, but as a really young adult. I mean, this is back in the 90s, so what's 25, 30 years ago? Oh my gosh, really? I gotta figure out. I know it was the 90s, man. I know it when did this come out? I can't remember when this movie came out, but it's probably been it's been well over 20 years for sure. So I'm sorry. I'm a little bit rambling because I'm excited to finally get this thing. This is kind of like one of those holy grails. I know everybody has like a holy grail type thing. There's a few movies out there that I would love to get someday, be a holy grail for me to get, especially if it was on a better version like DVD or something like that. To be able to get to something that's been on your list forever, something you've written off as, just like I said, I'm really excited. It's awesome. So that is it for this episode. Again, be on the lookout this week. I will be putting out my Black Friday haul. Also, look out for this week. I think Cobb and I are going to be doing a review on either 8-Bit Christmas. We both watched that one, or one other movie. I still have the Mortal Kombat one I got to put up there too. I switched over my phones, upgraded my phone recently because of some issues with the old phone. And that video that we'd filmed a long time ago didn't come over. There was some issues with it. The program I used to edit it was having some problems with it. So I finally got it all worked out. So that should be coming out soon. And then the one other thing I want to say is, speaking of Cobb, and I forgot about this, and I do want to show this. Speaking of Cobb, my nephew, my brother, and his son, and my niece and their wife, they all went on a trip down to Disneyland and Universal Studios last weekend, and for Thanksgiving, and they got home the other day, and I usually go watch my nephew on Mondays and Thursdays, my niece and my nephew on Mondays and Thursdays. So I went over there yesterday. My nephew got this for me at Universal Studios, and quite frankly, it brought me to tears later on when he wasn't looking, because I didn't want to do it in front of him. But he got me the Hollywood's Best Uncle Award, and this was awesome. This really made my day. It was really cool to see this. He gave me the Best Uncle Award. It means that, my wife and I can't have kids. We're not able to have children. So my niece and my nephew are kind of my surrogate children in a lot of ways. So for my nephew to give me this thing truly meant the world to me. It means more to me than he'll ever know. And this will go with me everywhere for the rest of my life for sure. It's going to be displayed in a prominent area because I want everybody to know what he thinks of me. So Cobb, thank you so much. This really does mean more to me than I think you'll ever understand, kiddo. So that is it. Again, thank you everybody so much for watching. Like, subscribe, the bell. Leave me some comments down below if you're interested for any things coming out, or if you've heard any other release news. Everybody take care and be safe out there. And as always, live long and prosper. Bye.